Hear me okay? Scott, are you logged in? Can you hear me okay? There it is. Scott, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you, John.
Excellent.
Sorry, okay. Am I out of time?
No worries.
You know, Charles, I don't care. So this is what I want to email Michelle Ford. Like this stuff that you're looking at right now.
Right.
It's not part of the RFQ.
Okay.
But this is what we've done in the past. So I figured I might as well just put it in there.
Yeah, as long as they didn't give you a limited number of pages. If they tell you they want no more than 10 pages, make sure you get it down to 10 pages, because if not, they will throw it out without even considering it.
Okay. I did not see it in there.
Okay. You also, anytime you can avoid it, you don't want to turn in documents that are handwritten.
How do I avoid that?
Well, you know, you got to imagine this. If they only need to receive 3 offers and they receive 5, you know, humans in general are lazy. They're going to find a reason to throw 2 of them out just so they don't have to do that extra work that they don't have to do. And
Sure.
One of the reasons why they'll do that is because it's handwritten, or I know purchasing agents, when they receive opportunities, they'll run the math real quick and see if the math adds up. And if the math is off, they'll throw it out without even considering it. So
okay.
They have the best solution and the cheapest price, but they wind up hiring the person with the worst solution and the highest price because they're lazy and they didn't want to mess with the opportunities that they had an opportunity to throw out.
Gotcha.
When you get forms like this and you can't modify them, sometimes they'll give you forms that are modifiable. Is that your form? Is that your phone ringing, Scott, or is that somebody else's?
Yeah, I didn't get it. Yep.
Sometimes they'll send you forms that are modifiable. If not, the program that I use is PDF Escape. It's real easy to use and it's free. You just go to the website, pdfescape.com. Go to the free online right here. Click upload, and then you drag and drop your document that you want to edit right into the box. It'll load, and then once it loads and it opens, you can take this and click text, and you can type directly on any document.
Oh, nice. That was easy.
Yep. And then after you've done doing all your typing, then you can go back and you can move it and you can actually line it up.
Okay, I'll give that a try.
Yep. And if there's something on the document you don't want or you make a mistake, go to the whiteout right here, drop in a whiteout box and resize it to the area you want to delete, and you can delete as well.
Gotcha.
When you're done,
good trick.
Yeah, when you're done, don't save it because it only gives you a limited number of trials to save it. What I do is I print it back to a PDF, and I save it right back to my desktop.
Okay.
I change this to a PDF, and then when I click save, it'll save it right to my desktop.
Gotcha.
Yeah, other than that, as long as there's no limitation of pages, and you want to go back and if you have time, go back and type it out so it's not handwritten.
Okay.
Be consistent. If you're going to use cents over here, use cents over here as well.
Gotcha.
$1.8 million, that ain't bad.
Yeah, that's the max. You know, if they want to give us all the beds.
Right, and you're acknowledging the amendments. Yeah, you've done everything right here.
Okay. Now if you on the FAR, you know, right from the site, from the website.
Yes.
They want to know those. I have it right here. I attached. See the FAR report?
Yes.
I attached that whole thing.
Yes.
I don't know if they want that whole thing.
They do.
What's that?
They do. Yes, they do. They want the whole thing.
Now I'm looking at like what they want, like 52.209-7. I'm looking right at her on the website. I read the RFQ. The dates at the end of those don't match my dates. How do I know my FAR report is the latest and greatest?
Because your case manager maintains it and keeps it up and updates it.
Okay, so I should be okay then.
Yeah, if you downloaded it recently in the last couple of weeks, you're fine. If you're, we get people that submit a bid once every 6 months. We get people that submit 6 bids a week. If you're submitting 6 bids a week, you only need to download it once a month. If you're submitting a bid every couple of months, you want to download it every time you submit a bid.
Okay. Now, they didn't ask for an FAR report. They asked for a few things on that report.
Let me pull up the
Should I have just given them a few things?
No, let me pull up the SAL number and take a look.
They only wanted like 1, 2, 3 of the FAR provisions.
No, not at all. But you might.
So you'll see.
All right, just say here. You wanted this. Here you go. That's the. See, those are the little ways you can get back to these guys. Yeah. Hey, no problem. If you want to go ahead and get renewed, just give me a call.
-17-Q-0263.
I can do it quicker for you, and that way you'll have me as a resource. Okay? You're very welcome. Right.
They're not telling us anything more here that they didn't say in the synopsis.
As that pulls up, there's 72 pages. Page 45 is the quote submission instructions.
Right. It starts on page 41, the instructions to offer, so that's where I'm going to start.
Okay.
Submit signed and dated offers to the office. Specify the solicitations or exact time specified to the office. Submit the standard 449 letterhead stationery as otherwise specified. The solicitation minimum must show. They want to know your solicitation number, time specified solicitation for receipt of offers, name, address, telephone number of the offer, technical description of the item offered in sufficient detail to evaluate compliance with the requirements of solicitation. This may include product literature or other documentation if necessary. Terms or any express warranty, price, and discount terms. Remit to address with different mailing. Include a copy of your representation, so a completed copy of your representation certifications right there. They don't want a partial. They don't want several. They want the entire thing.
So we're good.
Yep. Acknowledgement of the amendments, which you did. Past performance information, which you have, which include evaluation factor, include recent evaluation factors, the same for similar items, other references, including contact numbers, point of contact, telephone numbers. So you got all that on your past performance sheet. You got references.
Yes, I even emailed them to the 2 different contract liaisons for the Ann Arbor, Detroit, to have them fill it out.
Okay.
Because they fill them out. I don't fill them out. They fill them out and they turn them into her, right?
There's 2 ways past performance forms are done. Past performance questionnaire forms are typically emailed from the purchasing agent to your client. And then your client emails them directly back to the purchasing agent. Or they'll have you download them and you email them to your client, and there's instructions on your client for your client to send them directly back to the purchasing agent. Or
when you say my client,
your references, your client, whoever's giving you the reference.
okay. So what I did was I emailed them to our contract specialist, and one in Ann Arbor and one in Detroit, VA, for them to fill out. I thought they wanted Michelle Ford. She's the one that wrote this. She wanted pass report.
Typically looking for 3. Relevant within the last 3 to 5 years. So if you've got one other purchasing agent you're working with, if not, forward one to a private entity. Someone else who can vouch for you. All right?
Okay. I think I got that set up. I think I'm okay there.
Yeah. Now, pass
and she didn't want Michelle Ford here, who wrote this. She didn't want those forms sent back to me. She wanted to be sent back to her personally.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was just explaining. Most past performance forms, you're going to give the purchasing agent 3 emails to 3 different people, and the purchasing agent's going to email the past performance forms directly to your references, and your references are going to email it back. Or they'll have the forms attached in FBO where you download them, and then you forward those to your client, and then your client forwards those directly to the purchasing agent. Or they have past performance questionnaires where they have you give it to your client, and your client can give it back to you, and you attach it.
Okay. All right. So I think I did it right. All that last attachment, I just had I had examples. I had the copies filled out. And I also I let Michelle know who I emailed them to, the 2 different people. So hopefully they filled them out and got them back to her.
You want to do one more if you can, because they typically ask for 3 past performance questionnaires.
Well, each past performance was two contracts per, 2 for Ann Arbor and 2 for Detroit.
Right, but they're looking
for
3
4 altogether, 4 different contracts.
Okay, well that should be fine. You did submit the offer on the standard form 1449, so you can ignore that.
Yep, and I'm going to try to, and I'm going to go back and PDF it and type it in.
Excellent. This part right here is the acceptance of offers. So you agree to hold your prices for 60 days. You agree to be able to provide product samples that you provided. They encourage you to supply multiple offers if you have alternative solutions.
Sure.
Of course, you're responsible for getting your offers in on time, modifications, changes, any offer blah, 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 blah. This is just where they're covering their butts is all they're doing here.
Yep.
This is their terms of how they're going to award it, what they're going to use to evaluate. Yeah, so you're on the right track.
Okay.
Registered in SAM. This is the instructions to have a debriefing. They're not giving you a debriefing window.
Okay.
That's it. Type it out. Send me a copy before you submit it if you got time.
You got it. All right. Thanks a lot for your time, John.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
All right. Take care. And I think I'm gonna hang out and listen to some other questions from some other people.
Yeah, hang on. Take your time. I think if I'll have to go double check, but I'm pretty sure we're close to about halfway through your G.S.A. at this point.
Oh, okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the thing for the website. There's a couple little changes on, but that's easy enough. It looks good.
Sure.
We're almost there.
Good stuff.
All right, John. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Anybody else have a bid, solicitation, proposal you want to work on today?
Hey, John. How you doing? This is John Walker at 303 Software, Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
Hey, I just sent you an email. It came from john.walker at 303 Software. In that email is a PDF that you can look at page number 8 of.
Give me just a minute. All right, let me pull that up. And Scott, I'm going to email you your past performance too, because you guys have 39 contracts that are showing up in the system now under the FPDS, which only tracks about 10% of the spending. So you could have a lot more than that. But I'll send you over a report on your FPDS and your USA spending, so you've got it for past performance questionnaires in the future.
Should I include that with my proposal?
I wouldn't bother. You've already got the past performance questionnaires, which is all you need. But some guys are going to ask you for a past performance report. You know, they're going to want to see what contracts you've done and how much you were paid, and this is sufficient evidence.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
We expanded. I'll do that one. All right, it's all dropped off.
All right. So what they say?
What do you mean? What would they say? Oh, I told him he's going to look at the thing and see if it's in.
All right, I'm going to mute everybody because someone's got someone talking in the background, and we don't need to hear the conversation. I'll just unmute when I ask questions. If you guys have something you want to tell me, you can send it through the chat because I can't have people carrying on conversations in the background of these trainings. Okay, and what is your question on this one?
Okay, down at page number 8, it's got the qualifications of proposed staff. Just a really quick question for you. How strict is this stuff? We basically meet all of this. As you get to it there, there's one, I'm sure, a key bullet point here that we do not meet, but surely we could contract out. My just very general question for you is there value for me still reaching out, introducing myself over phone and email and trying to build a relationship here, and under the pretense that we could contract out this very specific seismology advisor that would weigh in? We certainly have all the software development capabilities here, and we would either need to work with them on that advisory role in the seismology specific area, or we would certainly find someone around here. Does that just sound crazy? Should I still reach out, or should I really consider us disqualified?
I would still reach out as long as you can find a subcontractor that can provide this, and you can provide them with your subcontractor's experience, or express that your subcontractor has the knowledge and you can handle this. You shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, so in my initial call, if I do reach someone, you think it would be fine just to be fairly open about that, say, hey, we're a software development firm, which I think that's what you're looking for. We're a small business, which is what you're looking for, and to meet that one need, we would be contracting out, happy to take recommendations from you, whatever.
Correct.
I think there's still room for a conversation to continue.
Yeah, and you're better off emailing them first. Always email first, because calling purchasing agents is intrusive. Some of them don't allow phone calls. So email them first, give them some time to respond. Unless the bid's due first thing in the morning and you don't have time to email, or you emailed them 3 days ago and you haven't heard back, drop them an email, keep it short and brief.
Okay. And you think that would apply as a general rule of thumb too, if there's something very specific like that, but for the most part it's software development work? Mm-hmm. Would you say in general it would be okay to still make contact?
Absolutely. It wouldn't be a waste of time? Absolutely. No, never a waste of time. I mean, they might not reply. And if you've never emailed the federal purchasing agent, let me know. I've got an article and a video showing how to email them properly.
Okay, and that would be very helpful. So I'll re-ask you that question for that link in an email then.
You got it.
Thank you.
No
That's
problem.
all from me.
No problem. All right. Anybody else got a bid, solicitation, proposal you want to work on?
Don, this is Joseph Garrido. I just emailed you over the RFP amendment.
Got it.
Can you take a quick look at that? I wasn't sure if they wanted this filled out and emailed back right away. They highlighted it for me, for us.
It's not an actual document, so I can't search it, so we're just going to look it over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they want you to complete items 8 through 13 and return one copy of the amendment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I filled out 13, just like the signature and name.
It's good. You should be able to just email it to them.
All right, then. All right, thank you.
No problem. Anybody else got a bid, solicitation, proposal you want to work on?
Hi, John. This is Melody. I just have a general question on solicitations that do not have any instructions to offer or SOW. Do you just send the simple instructions to offer forms that general things that they need? What would we do in those cases? The only thing they're requesting on this one in particular is the brand name, the FAR 52.211-6.
Okay.
But otherwise, there is no other forms for the bid or anything that they are requesting.
If there's no instructions to offer, look for instructions to bidder and instructions to contractor. So go with just the word instructions, because not all purchasing agents call it instructions to offer. The SOW, which is the statement of work, that tells you what it is the government wants to buy. They don't always call it a statement of work either. Sometimes they call it a performance work statement. Sometimes they call it a work statement, performance statement. Different agencies, different purchasing agents will use different terms. So always look for the word instructions by itself if you don't see the instructions to offer. And if there are no instructions to offer a bidder or contractor or anything like that, and they're not telling you how they want you to submit your bid, as long as there's not a limit, a page limit, because sometimes they'll tell you no more than so many pages. As long as that's the case and there's no instructions, I send them the basic documents for the 52.2 and 2-1. So that would be a cover page, signature page, index if it's printed, a copy of the reps inserts, copy of your cap statement, price proposal, and if it's a product, brochure, or if it's a service, a technical proposal.
Oh, okay. So we should send a brochure for the technical proposal.
Yeah, if you're selling them a widget, a product or something like that, you can just use the brochure as your technical proposal. If you're selling them a service or something that requires warranty or installation, you want to send them instructions on the warranty or the installation or the usage or what have you.
Okay. Basically, your basic forms for instructions to offer.
Yeah, well, if you're offering construction, you're not going to just tell them what you're going to build. You're going to have to tell them how you're going to build it, how you're going to meet the state, city, and local building codes, how you're going to make sure everybody's safe, how you're going to make sure you use green materials, how you're going to, that's all part of your technical proposal. But if you're just selling a widget, your technical proposal is a brochure, one-page brochure for that widget is fine.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else got a bid, solicitation, proposal you want to work on, a question?
John, this is Tracy. One quick question for you.
Yes.
The one that I'm working on, it has the a base year pricing, and then they're asking for pricing for the option of the 4 additional years.
Right.
I'm wondering, would the bid actually be based off of, the contract award, would it be based off of the base year pricing or the base year plus all the options combined?
You're allowed to increase your bid each year for inflation. So your base year is going to be X number of dollars. Your year number 1, which is actually the second year, because you get your base year and then your 4-year option. So the first year option is your second year. And that one you're allowed to add additional funding for inflation. So across the board, it's about 1.5%. People ask me how much. I say I'd go 3% per year. That way by year 5, you're making 12% more. If your base price is fine, but your increase rate for inflation is too high, a lot of times they'll ask you to sharpen your pencil.
Okay, I think for this particular one, I can keep it the same.
Okay.
For all years.
Okay.
So when I do that, for the bottom line, do I just add everything together and say this is base plus option? Or
exactly.
Just
yeah, you're going to have
one figure that I come up with?
They're usually going to show the base year and the 4-year options, and they're going to ask you for a price for each year, and then it's going to show a total at the bottom.
Okay, so the total at the bottom is base plus all options.
May not be real.
And if you got, in the future you got something you want to work on specifically, take the solicitation number. Actually, when you're in FBO in the actual opportunity like this, copy the address bar up here and email me the address bar. And in the future, I can just click on the link and go right to it. Any other questions?
Hey, John, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, this is Chad Kazmerzak with the Praetorian Guard. I sent you a pre-solicitation earlier. Wasn't sure if you received that. I had a couple questions on that.
You see that in both? You have to check their email for voicemail.
Okay, that's not coming up. Probably gonna have to search it in the archives. Advanced search. I don't know why that happens sometimes, but it does. So we're gonna go both. We're gonna paste it in the keyword or call box. And we're gonna search. All right, it says there's no items. In the future, when you got an opportunity you want to work on, when you're in FBO and you've actually got it open,
Yeah.
go ahead and copy the address bar and send me the link. That way I can just click on it. We don't run into this problem where it doesn't load right. Meanwhile, I'm going to make sure it's proper SOL number by simply Googling it. If it doesn't show up on Google, it's not a correct SOL number, in which case there's a typo or something.
Well, if there is, I'm sure it was mine. I typoed it somewhere, then I didn't give you the right one.
Yep, because if it was a real solicitation number, there would be 30 or 40 links where it's updated to these other databases.
Yeah, I think I missed a 0 in there. It's 3 zeros and a 3.
Yep, that makes sense. I'm going to mute you guys again because I'm getting a lot of background noise again. So if you guys need to talk, just... it sounds like it cleared up now. Yep, see how it's got a whole bunch of links that comes up, so we know that's a legitimate SOL number. There it is, U.S. Mission, Mozambique.
Yes, that's it.
All right. This is a pre-solicitation. There's no response date, no set aside, so all we can do is go by the instructions that they give us here. Definitely want to add it to your watch list. Just want to add it to your watch list. There's no interested vendors list. This is a blind list, so I would definitely add myself when it's a blind list. And then all you can do is follow the instructions.
Yeah, that was actually one of the questions. Is that normal?
No. I mean, it happens. It's not normal, but it does happen. And when it does happen, you want to automatically add yourself because it's a blind list. Only the purchasing agent can see it.
How do you know it's a blind list, John?
The third tab is in here. There should be a third tab that says interested vendors list, and you click on it and you can see the list.
Okay.
There's not a third tab here, so it's a blind list. No one can see it except the purchasing agent. Okay, so interested vendors are requested to provide notice to their interest in this solicitation, i.e. name, firm, address, by adding themselves to the interested vendors list. That's it. That's all they want you to do on this time being, is add yourself to the interested vendors list.
Okay, so we already did that. Most of my questions are going to be off of the template that you had sent to me for the security. And one of them was that w.a.w.f. enrollment. Is that something that I should have already done, or should be doing immediately?
Wide area workflow is something you're better off having and not needing than needing and not having, because once you need it and you don't have it, you're screwed. I give people, I use one example. This lady called me about, I think it's been almost 2 years now. She didn't have wide area workflow. But sometimes the purchasing agents will hire you anyway without checking. And then she did the work and completed the work and was trying to get paid. And her attorney accidentally, when they register, her attorneys register, and Sam, he made a typo on her account, her routing number, or not her routing number, her account number. And when the government paid her, that money went to another company. So she had her wide area workflow, but there was a typo in it when the attorney processed it. That's why when we register you guys, a lot of times we'll have you pay by check, because we use that to verify the account at the same time. It kills two birds with one stone, so we don't run into that mistake down the road. And if you don't pay by check, if you pay by credit card, you still have to cut a check and send us a copy of the check so we can verify the account. I had another woman a little over a year ago, won a contract, wasn't registered in wide area workflow at all. And when the government tried to pay her, they couldn't. And once the government owes you money, it's a lot harder to get registered in wide area workflow than it is when they don't owe you money. So you definitely want to do it ahead of time. And if you just search YouTube.
Okay, so I'm safe doing that now?
Yeah, do it now. Get it out of the way and have that under your belt, because you're going to have to register and you're going to have to watch the videos. If you go to YouTube, and you search wide area workflow, WAWF. I'm number 5 on that one right there. Or I think I'm number 1 under irapt.
Is that the same thing, irapt? It's just a new name or something?
Yep. Wide area workflow is what it used to be called. Formerly wide area workflow. Now it's called irapt. So if you search IRAPT, I'm number 2, 3.
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10. Any other questions?
Yeah, well, the executive summary of for us, when I'm submitting this stuff, am I to be extremely detailed on those, or is that something I should be try to keep it relatively to the point?
You know, there's a fine balance. You want to be detailed enough that you're giving them enough information to make a decision, but you don't want to make them work harder than they want to. Basically, my theory on that is that they give you a limited number of pages, never go over that limit. They tell you 10 pages or less, 10 pages or less. If they tell you single-sided 12 font times Roman, do single-sided 12 font times Roman. Don't do anything they don't ask. You know,
okay.
You don't want to go above and beyond, because if you give them too much information, they're going to look at it and think it's twice as much work for me to review this solicitation or this guy's proposal as it is this guy's proposal. Their prices are about the same, and I got 6 proposals and I only need 3 to award this. So I'm going to throw yours out just because yours is bigger and it's going to give me twice as much work. But then you want to give them enough detail to make a solid decision. So, you know, it's a fine line.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Good deal.
Any other questions?
I'm good on that. I appreciate it.
Anybody else got a question or a bid, solicitation, proposal to work on?
John, I have a general question. Go ahead.
No, ladies first.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
John and Charlene, I have a question regarding the images that you use on your cap statement. I think you have a video on YouTube that describes where you can get those images from.
Yes. So
What is that video called?
Go to YouTube and search capability statement. Oops, that's Google. Got to go to YouTube.
I can't tell you how many times
That's it right there under capabilities, IES. It's not called a capability statement. That's actually it's just the wrong term. It doesn't, the word capability statement doesn't exist with the government, but people use it because they don't know any better. Matter of fact, one of our competitors right here has a thing under capability, and it's mind-boggling. So there's two videos. This one describes the difference between capabilities and a capability statement, and then it takes you, it has the link to take you how to put together a good cap statement. Oh no, this is the one where I go on a rant. Now, if you're going to do it right. Use the correct terms. And what I mean by that, allergies are going crazy today. Under capability statement, there's only 22,000 results. Under capabilities statement, there's 90,000, almost 100,000 results. So that right there tells you it's the correct term. But when you send in a capability statement to a purchasing agent and they know better, you look like you don't know what you're doing. I'll give you another example. Woman-owned. There's actually no such thing as a woman-owned small business. Is the woman-owned small business certification worthwhile? No, because it doesn't exist, because you don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
And this is why. And it's here's the mind-boggling part. Go to Google. Woman-owned. Spell it correctly, of course. See, I searched woman-owned. Did you mean to say woman-owned? The first thing that comes up is woman-owned. Woman-owned, the SBA. Woman-owned small business, but they've got it on their website. When you go to the SBA's website and you search woman-owned, the SBA has articles out there under woman-owned, which is not what it is. It's woman, you know. G.S.A. has the same thing. PTAC has the same thing, and they're teaching people to do this improperly. I've seen websites where a business owner had on the website, it said woman-owned small business, W-O-M-A-N, and I asked her, who told you to do that? Oh, the SBA told me to do that. They know everything. They're the government. No, they're not. And they don't know everything. I don't know everything. Nobody does. But, I mean, if you're going to do something, do it right, you know. You don't want to lose a contract because of a typo. And people are like, well, you know, how do you know woman-owned and woman-owned is the correct term? Go back to the basics. There's 147 million contracts under woman-owned. It's crazy. Yeah, it's good. Sorry, I go up on rant sometimes. It's the capabilities statement.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You got it. Anybody else have
Hi,
any
John.
questions?
This is Daniel.
Yes.
When we first starting out, is it a good idea to search for opportunities in DIBS.DLA to find some of the smaller? No?
No. Anything that goes through DIBS goes through FBO first. So if you're searching and DIBS and FBO, you're doing twice the work.
Okay. I thought FBO has opportunities that are 25,000 and over.
Nope. There's opportunities that are put out in FBO for $300, $3,000, $13,000, $30,000. There's
Okay, but still a good idea to go for some of these smaller, lower-hanging fruit in order to build up your resume for past performance, right?
Yeah, but those go through FBO as well.
Okay.
Everything for the most part goes through FBO first. So FBO is going to redirect you to DIBS or Binks or NAPCO or ASFI or FedBid or FedConnect. It has to go through FBO first.
All right, so don't even bother with DIBS.DLA then.
Well, if there's anything that you're going to have to post through DIBS, it'll go through FBO. So if you're searching in both, you're doubling your work. If you're searching in FBO, you'll always get the DIBS contracts. If you're just searching in DIBS, you're going to miss out on stuff that's in FBO.
I see. Okay.
Right.
Thanks for clarifying.
Sure. Any other questions? Anybody else got a bid, proposal, solicitation to work on? All right. Well, we're not bad as far as attendees today. The other day we had almost 26 attendees, which in this go-to meeting is the maximum number of attendees. Once we start getting to the point where we're getting close to that, eventually we're going to have to upgrade to the next level of go-to meeting, which is up to 100 attendees. But in the meantime, I got to make sure that I always take care of clients first. So anytime in the future we've got a maximum of more than 26, I'm going to have to take care of clients first. So if anybody who's not a client, you're just going to have to wait till the next day. Any other questions?
Hey, John, one quick one.
John, I got a question for you.
Ladies first. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Yes. Chivalry's not dead. Your
Can you send me the information in regards? Can you send me the information in regards to becoming a client?
Sure, absolutely. Just drop me an email and say I'd like to learn what to do to become a client.
Okay.
You got it. Yes, sir. You had a question?
Thanks.
Yeah, your past performance. Now, my business itself is new. We started it up to this, but I've done this type of work for many years. Am I putting all my past history in there as well, or when they're asking for past performance, are they specifically asking for what has your company done, in the past, or am I putting, all the experience that my team has doing this in there?
Unless they specify they want specific types of past performance or from a specific time frame, and sometimes they'll say they want like-minded contracts that are similar in size, state, and fashion within the last 3 to 5 years. Then you want to meet that requirement. But usually they just say they want 3 past performance references, and they don't have specific rules. You can use anything. You can use your experience. You can use your other employees or full-time or part-time employees' experience. You can use your subcontractors' experience. You can use your partner's experience, their business they owned 10 years ago. I had a guy win a contract. He used a Raytheon as a past performance on a contract that he did over 20 years ago. And technically, he was hired by a day labor place to sweep floors at Raytheon. And he kept that job for almost 2 years while he was in college, sweeping floors at night. Well, he was hired as a subcontractor, and they didn't ask him what type of work it was. So technically, he was a subcontractor for Raytheon for 2 years. And he won the contract. Okay. And the debriefing said she awarded it to him because he had previous work with Raytheon. sweeping floors.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everything is related to the field. I just wasn't sure if I can use, you know, my guys have done several contracts in this type of arena, so I just wasn't sure if when they're asking if they were saying, well, how long is this company, what's the experience of this company, or just the experience of, you know, your staff in this field of work.
No, unless they specify you can't, you can use anything you want.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate it.
You got it. Any other questions? Anybody else got a bid, solicitation, proposal? Anybody want to play badminton?
Can you hear me?
I'm sure I still got a badminton net and some rackets somewhere in a closet that the kids never play with. All right, guys, if there's no other questions, go ahead.
John, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a solicitation. I was on the road. I was listening, but I couldn't get on my computer. And I know we only have a few minutes, so I probably will let it go, and I'll probably send it to you, and then we can talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
No problem. And let me do a quick public service announcement for you guys, too. I tell you guys all the time to watch out for scams. Check with me first. You know, before you buy anything. If someone calls you and says they want you to buy something, tell them you only work with John Wayne and hang up on them. You know, if they send you an email, forward it to me. Before you do anything, check with me first. And here's a prime example. One of my clients reached out to me yesterday, and she sent me this document. She said, this company reached out to me for a quote. I wanted to make sure it's legitimate before I do business with them. This looks like a pretty official document. If I didn't know what I knew, I would imagine up front that this was real. This was totally legitimate. But the first thing that caught my eye is it's the New Jersey Institute of Technology. And I've actually seen this scam before, so I already knew it wasn't legitimate when it was the same school. There's several things that you can use as something that should tell you right off the bat that it's not legitimate. If the document's not properly formatted, like this description goes all the way across into this line, the government's usually not going to do that. Government's usually, not always, but they're usually pretty formal. Things are going to line up. That address isn't going to have an extra space in it.
Hey, John,
Yes.
Are you still there?
Yes.
I did. Oh, I don't know if I sent you the wrong thing. Of course I sent you the wrong thing. Well, okay. I think we don't have enough time, do we? I mean, if I were to send it to you now, can we talk about this tomorrow?
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Now, when I originally got this, it was a different document. They didn't have a logo on it. And also, there wouldn't be an approval signature on a form where they're asking you for a quote. They would approve it once you submit your quote. Of course, you can call the University of Institute of Technology in New Jersey and ask them for Paul Mercado, and there's no such person. So that's another way to figure out this is not legitimate. But best thing to do in these cases is just forward it to me, especially if they're reaching out to you, because the government doesn't frequently do that. They do that, but it's not as frequent as you would win contracts submitting bids. But as legitimate as this looks, it's a scam. And I contacted the New Jersey Institute of Technology and told them about this, and they said, it's not our fault. It's not our problem. It's actually the state's problem, and it's the state of whoever they're dealing with. So this client is in New York. So it's the state of New York's problem, not the state of New Jersey. Just be careful. Check with me first, guys. You know, someone calls you and tells you they want to sell you something, tell them you only work with John Wayne and hang up on them. It's hilarious. All right. Any other questions?
Hey, John.
Oh, wait.
I got a call today from someone, BidNet. Is who they say they were representing?
BidNet?
And they wanted to set up and do a demo? Yes.
Yeah, anytime you get a phone call or something like that, if you don't want to tell them you only work with John Wayne and hang up on them, take down all their information and email it to you. I'll tell you if they're legitimate. 99% of the calls and emails you're going to get, you don't need. They're coming from the ambulance chasers.
All right. Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
All right.
Hey, John, I'm assuming that goes for the same thing when you're getting messages about updating your SAM's account?
Yeah, especially if it's a text message, because Sam doesn't text, neither do we.
Yeah, I've gotten like 3 of them within the past 2 days to update my SAMs.
Yeah, put the information in an email and forward it to me.
Okay.
All right, you got it.
Thanks, sir.
No problem. Any other questions?
John, one last question.
Yes.
Are you saying that we should be registering for wide area workflow by ourselves?
You can do it on your own. It's not that difficult to do if the government doesn't owe you any money. So as long as the government doesn't owe you any money, you're not currently doing a contract. It's not that difficult. Or if you don't want to mess with it, you can pay us and we'll do it for you. You do have that option. But that's one registration that's not extremely difficult compared to some of them that I would tell you not even to bother trying it on your own. You know, if you said, I can do my 8A, I'm going to try it on your own, I would say good luck. And I'll talk to you in about 1.5 years when you're declined in a year. And then it's going to take us a whole year to do it because we can't do it once you're declined. Wide area workflow is not like that. If you do it and you fail, we can still do it. We don't have to wait a year.
Okay, but I still have to wait for my cage code to come back before I do wide area workflow, right?
Yeah, you're going to want to wait for your cage code because it's going to make things go easier in irapt.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Yeah, it's not a problem. I mean, I'll gladly take your money and do the wide area workflow for you. But if I tell you it's not that difficult, you know, and to go ahead and do it on your own, I give you guys facts. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't beat around the bush. I tell you like it is. Wide area workflow is not that difficult. HubZone, 8A, G.S.A, DAPA, those are fairly complicated and time consuming. And if any of you guys know anyone that's ever applied for disability or Social Security, or the one that really makes me mad, veterans have to actually apply for their benefits when they get discharged. They get a general or an honorable discharge. They don't automatically get their benefits. They actually have to apply for them. And most veterans fail the first 2 times at applying for their own benefits that they deserve. And you know,
been there.
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting. If you fail, it could take 6 to 8 months to apply for it. And if you fail, you got to wait so long, and then you get to apply again, and then you fail again. Now you're 1.5 years out of the service, and you're still not getting your benefits.
3.5 years.
3.5?
Took 3.5 years.
That's
3.5 years to finally get my benefits.
That's disgusting that you should serve our country and come home and get an honorable discharge and have to wait 3.5 years to get your benefits. A lot of veterans now are just, as soon as they get out, they're not even bothering. They're going straight to an attorney and saying, get it done and take half for the first year. Attorney will do it and take half. You know, hey, it is what it is. You're better off getting it done and having it in 6 months than waiting 3.5 years. That's just, that makes me sick to myself.
Definitely.
But it is what it is.
John, can I ask you one more quick one on the wide area workflow thing?
Sure.
Hey, I was on that site today. It was asking me about cyber training. As far as filling out is there a certain type of cyber training through the Department of Defense, or
it's through?
Is it just some type of?
When you register with irapt, once you finish the registration, it's going to direct you to the videos right on their website.
Oh, okay. Because it was asking me for a date, and I didn't know what it was talking about. So I'll have that date. I just dated as of the day I took the little training videos and all that.
Yeah. And, you know, if you have any questions like that, take a screenshot. If it's something specific like this, go to your snipping tool. And let's say that it's this line right here. Take a screenshot, email it to me. Say, John Wayne, what's this? Or like I was showing you in the FBO, if it's an actual opportunity, copy the address bar and email me that, because then all I got to do is click on that link and it goes right to the question. All right. All right, guys, if there's no other questions, I'm going to shut her down for today. I'll be back on here tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. If you guys want to join, let me know ahead of time. If you got something you want to work on, email me the links. You get an email or phone call from someone wanting money from you, check with me first.
Thanks, John. Hey, thank you, John.
Yeah, especially on the SAM renewal, because those guys are, the ambulance chasers are out there hard and heavy trying to get you to sign up for SAM renewals. All right.
Thanks, John.
You got it.
Thanks.
Got it.
Thanks, John.
You got it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.